So good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Yoga Sadhana, which is yoga spiritual practices this morning. We're going to start with a little breathing practice, and then we'll move into some chanting and get right into movement and finish with meditation. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So comfortable seat can mean many different things. If you can comfortably sit with your legs crossed, you can do so. You can sit up on a chair, anything that you need this morning. And just take a moment to really get settled. See if you can feel those points of your hips. They're called your sits bones. Feel them anchoring down to the ground. So a little rocking side to side will help you to center in this way. And the idea here is to sit up as tall as you can up through your spine. The spine naturally draws in at the bottom, and behind the heart comes out just a little, and then up and back behind the neck. So we want to recreate this posture. You can take a look at me if you'd like by just gently drawing the heart forwards. That's all it takes, is draw the heart forwards and let the chin draw in towards the throat, and you'll find that whole beautiful S-curve of the spine will start. Now, if opening your heart is challenging, you can face the palms up on the lap and draw them right towards the top of the thigh. And by pulling your elbows behind you, you'll notice that it sort of strongly encourages the heart forwards. So let's start with a breathing practice this morning. We're going to do Nadi Shodhan, which is alternate nostril breathing. You can take your right hand and fold down your first two fingers. Okay, so first two fingers fold down. We're going to be using the thumb and the ring finger. All right, so let's begin by closing off the right nostril with the thumb. I want to show you up close here. When you close off a nostril, we're not pressing the nostril shut, but just rest the thumb underneath it. It'll help to keep the airflow better. And of course, if your sinus is blocked today, you can just close your eyes and breathe deeply. So let's go ahead. We're going to sit up tall. Exhale all the breath out of the left side of the nose. Begin with inhalation through the left side. And you're ascending all the way up to the peak of the inhalation. Switch fingers at the peak. Exhale all the breath out the other side. Slow inhalation, maybe touching attention to the point between the two eyebrows. At the peak of the inhale, switch sides. And exhale all the breath out the other side. So again, when you're inhaling, feel everything is rising up. You're climbing to the top of the mountain. The point between the two eyebrows, switching when you reach the peak, and then exhaling and descending down. Let's do a few rounds of practice on our own. And sometimes when we're first beginning to learn this breath, we start to kind of relax downwards. Like we let our head come down, we let our heart close, and I encourage you to resist that energy by sitting up tall and really finding that breath awakening, balancing. This breath is particularly helpful in discharging excess carbon dioxide from the bloodstream. This can be from our dietary choices. It can be from not getting enough breath while we're sleeping or a sedentary lifestyle. Also, stress locks carbon dioxide in the bloodstream. So you're discharging that. And the more oxygen in the body, the easier it is to be still, to make informed decisions. And careful not to hold the breath out too long or get yourself into a pattern where you feel like you're a little panicked to switch back. Sometimes it's a little, creates a feeling of restlessness if we hold the breath out too long or we move too quickly. So for the next few rounds, let's just find that nice balance. Now, as you're ready to let the practice go, we're ending by exhaling all of the breath out of the right side of the nose to balance the way that we came in. You can relieve your hand back down to your lap when it's natural to do so. Sit up nice and tall with eyes closed. Look right through the window of the point between your two eyebrows. Try to relax every muscle in the body and watch very closely at this point. Notice the effect that the practice had on your body and your mind. Let's continue. We'll take a double inhalation. We're going to tense our entire body. Make sure you work from a low to medium up to a vibrating of the body, and then slowly reverse when we exhale. So we do a double inhalation. Let's go ahead and start. So squeeze the muscles right until they vibrate with energy, and relax out. Gradual relaxing. Watch and feel. Okay, again, double inhale. Tense the whole body, vibrate the muscles, look right at the spiritual eye. Draw that charge of energy and slowly relax. Make sure you watch and feel. One more time. Right until they vibrate. Feet, arms, belly, ribs, chest, everything vibrating with energy, and then release. Total relaxation. So we're going to move into a brief chant. You can leave your eyes closed if you'd like, and keep your energy centered in your heart as you hear the chant. And you're welcome to chant along. It has very simple words. God of beauty is now reigning in the temple of my heart, of my heart, of my heart, in the temple of my heart. God of beauty is now reigning in the temple of my heart. God of beauty is now reigning in the temple of my heart, of my heart. Just take a moment to be still here. Whatever energy is awakened in your heart, lift that energy to the point between the two eyebrows, and we'll gently rest here for 3 breaths. Take your time. When you're finished with your breaths, take a deep inhalation, reach the palms up above the head, press the palms up into the sky, fingers flip behind you for a nice long stretch of the body. Let the belly and the heart fall forwards. Good, and then exhale, you can just settle the hands right into the heart. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, let the belly, ribs, and chest fall forwards. Flip fingers behind. Good, and then exhale, hands into the heart. Okay, last time, inhaling with upward rising aspiration. Good, and then exhale, hands come down into the heart. Let's go side to side, leaving one hand on the ground, reach the opposite arm over, palm facing down. Go as far as you'd like or as your body permits. And get a nice rhythm waving side to side. Feeling the unique articulation of the arm through the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist, and being interested in that expression and how it can become smoother and more harmonious. And the waving of the spine going side to side. When you reach up and over, palm is facing down, but as you track back, press the palm reaching away from the body. You find a nice opening in your shoulders. And then just finish on the opposite side. We're going to take hands to the knees and inhale, look up with the chin. You can go as high as you'd like, as long as you're lifting up. And then exhale, round the back, concave through the heart and the belly, chin to the chest. A few rounds here. So remember, in this particular movement, it's not just a lateral movement forwards and backwards, but you're actually pulling yourself up. So get taller as you come forwards, and then exhale, fold down and concave the heart. Shoulders are relaxed in each posture. And see if you can get into this movement of waving your spine. Think like when you wave a ribbon in the air. You're waving your spine and getting all the unique articulations to start expressing. And then when you get to the top of your inhale, just release the hands behind you so that you can let your legs come out. Let's go ahead, we're going to come down onto forearms behind us and just send our legs nice and long. And you're going to lift your heart and look down towards the tips of your toes. If you feel that your neck is strong this morning or in general, you can gently look up, but try not to drop the head back or lift the chin. It could be helpful to point the toes. This is a modified fish pose. Good, really work on lifting the heart. It takes active energy to keep rising through the heart. When you're ready to come out, you just bend one knee and then maybe push up off of the hands and then come with both knees. Let's take fingers to the sides and wave our knees. You're rolling up onto one hip and then the other. And maybe you're choosing this morning to time your breath with your movement. Or in truth, you're timing your movement to your breath. Just relaxing and enjoying this process of awakening in the body. There's no rush, no end point to get to, just allowing yourself to be in this moment. And then let's come to center and just take a moment here in a neutral position, holding backside of the thighs, knees and ankles hug close together, and you seal your elbows right by the ribs, and then just slowly start to recline back and let your toes lift. And so the whole shape is growing out of the hips. Keep the heart wide open here. Lower spine is still keeping that inward swooping angle to support you. And if you feel to, you can even release the palms and keep them flipped open here. You might go back a little further. You might even walk the feet a little further forward if it helps you to balance. Good. Let's use the affirmation with the broadness of the heart here. Within my every breath is infinite power. Within my every breath is infinite power. And then you go ahead and release the hands to the back of the thighs and lift yourself up. So use the strength of your upper body so that your legs can relax here. By hugging onto the back side of the legs and sealing elbows towards the ribs, you can rest deeply in this pose. Let's just close the eyes and take 3 breaths. Feel the back body getting longer. Excellent. Let's go ahead and extend our legs out here, and we're going to turn and lay one foot on top of the other. Hands are going to come to the side here. So if you need a modification, you can use your bottom knee as a little balance point and rest it on the ground. But otherwise, we have feet stacked maybe on top of each other or one in front of the other. Your fingers are pointed towards the top of your head, and your opposite arm goes to the sky. We're not here for very long. We are just waking up the inner fire, inviting that quality of transformation into the practice. And then you can lower down when you're ready to. When you lower down, try to lay into this arm like a hammock. So let the ribs lay out here, and you can take the other arm and reach it down the legs. So let the whole side body lean open here. Let's draw a deep breath right into the belly, ribs, chest, and then let the breath go and slowly rotate. We're going to come the other direction. So just let your feet fall in the other direction. You can do one in front of the other or on top. It's your choice. And then you're going to lift your hips up off of the ground. Your opposite arm can come up into the sky if you'd like. Feel that sense of inner fire beginning to maybe burn away some of the lethargic energy from sleep or sedentary lifestyle. Don't be afraid to stand in the fire a little bit, even if it means temporary discomfort. Just breathe, all things will pass. Let's exhale, slowly come back down. Same thing, maybe walk your hand a little step out here, but lean into the shoulder. So let the shoulder come up and let the whole side of your ribs extend. Your opposite arm goes down your leg, just as a place to rest. You can look towards your feet. And the more that you can draw your breath deep into the belly, you'll feel the spacing between your ribs start to expand. And this will help us to accommodate deeper breath. And then you can release the position by turning onto hands and knees. And let's step right into plank position. So your hips go as high as your shoulders. Nice high position here. Get your fingers nice and broad. Good. And just take a moment here to close down the armpits. That means the pointy part of your elbow is able to bend back towards your feet. So closing down the armpits. When you're ready to, you can exhale and push the hips up towards the sky. Make sure your heels get nice and heavy. And you're in downward facing dog. Good, and then just inhale, come back up into the high plank position. And exhale one more time. And then go ahead and on your inhalation, come through plank position. You can drop your knees down if you'd like. We're coming all the way down to the earth. This is called 8 parts bowing. So keep knees down. Your feet are 2, your knees are 2. Come chest. Keep the hips high, hands under the shoulders. Your hands are 2, and then your chin and your heart make for the other 8 of this 8 parts bowing position. And then like a little inchworm, you can slowly sink the hips down and press underneath the shoulders as you point the toes and lift up into cobra position. Nice deep breath. Good, and then exhale down. Just be mindful of your spine this morning. And then inhale to rise up. You're pointing the toes, actively reaching down. And let's pause in cobra position. I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. Keep the weight in the arms, and it helps to strengthen those instruments of the heart. I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. Let's descend joyfully to release, toes tuck underneath. We're going to inhale and push back into a child's pose. Just for a moment here, extend the arms and rest the head. Now is your opportunity just to integrate some of those postures. Relax the body as profoundly as you can in this moment, and watch as this rebalancing and integration of new energy starts to reveal itself. Let your awareness come right to the base of the skull, top of the neck. Just imagine like you're opening a window on a spring day, letting in fresh air, fresh vitality into the body. Take a deep breath, almost as though you were pulling air or pulling prana through this window of the body, and let it circulate through your house or your temple. And exhale any stale, old energy out of the body. When you're ready to rise, slide the hands on your mat and arch the back as much as you possibly can into the cat position. You're on tips of the fingers in this version. And just push out through the ribs on the right side, left side. You may only have a tiny bit of wiggle room, and then slowly come back to center. So from this position, we're going to extend out. We'll do left side first. So left foot goes all the way back and behind you. Now you can choose to just wave that foot out, or if you need to bend, you can. We're going to wave it back. And you might even look over the opposite shoulder and point the toes. Just take a few rounds. Bend the knee if this is too much on your spine. So get right into the outer perimeter. See how far you can reach. You're really looking for the furthest reaches of the practice. And when you get out to the side this next time, leave the foot on the ground. We're going to stay low for a few moments. Walk your hands towards your foot and away from your heart. And see if you can bow the heart down a little bit. Release the head and the neck. And you let the hips bow just a little behind you to accommodate. You may be leaning into the right side body heavily here. Wherever you are, breathe deeply And slowly begin to come back to center. And let your head be the last part to rise. Just slowly walk yourself up until you're balanced on your knee. Both hands come to the hips. You could take a moment of neutral spine here. Close the eyes. Draw the chin in towards the throat as you lift the heart. Let's interlace fingers behind the back here and squeeze the shoulders together to really get that heart open. Stand up nice and tall. So every posture, we're just manipulating the body to open our spine and open that channel so that energy can start flowing upward. Let's go ahead and slide our left hand down the extended leg. Opposite arm is going to reach up and over. And start reaching up first and then slowly find your side extension. And the affirmation, waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Keep breathing and clearing out the energy of the spine so that those waves of joy can start rising up through your heart, smiling through your heart to your face, to your eyes. Final inhalation as we reach. Lean as deep into the pose as you'd like. And then exhale, we're going to wave ourselves off to the side. So wherever your hand naturally lands, go ahead and scooch it forward one more length, maybe two, and see if you can just go ahead and rise up and lift the top arm, and maybe even lift your leg as well. Now if your spine feels really strong and you want to take to it, you can bend the knee and try and hold on to the ankle. Remember, every movement, ideally, it's the ideal we're working towards, is calm and centered. And then you just extend back out. We're going to turn our heart towards the ground. So in order to do this, you have to bow your hips behind you a little bit and turn your heart and get nice and low in your body. And come right back to where we started, arms out to the side. And maybe your body will allow you to draw your right arm and send it back towards your right foot. And then slowly you can go ahead and release out. So once hands are back underneath the shoulders, just bend the knee to release any pressure and slide the foot out. We're going to inhale and reach it behind us and tap our head towards the ground. Good. And then just exhale and settle down. Let's take child's pose and watch that whole side of the body that we just stimulated here. In this case, it's our left side was deeply stimulated. And see if you can notice how awakened the whole side of the body has become. Let's really tune into the consciousness. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Let go of all the gripping of muscles, engagement of the body, and hold yourself still. Slow your breath down consciously. Calm the heart. this renewed spirit, let's slowly start to rise out of our position, lifting hips up off of the heels, hands underneath the shoulders, just like we did on the other side. We'll take right foot this time and point behind us. And you're waving that foot off to the side, so flex your toes when you wave out, and you let your hips come a little to the side to counterbalance, and then wave all the way around and look over the shoulder as you point the toes. So it's easier to keep yourself safe if you move nice and slow. It makes it more challenging. Maybe there's less range of motion. Maybe there's more. Deeper breath finds greater sense of support. You can always bend at the knee. And the next round finds you reaching all the way over to the side. We're going to stay low here and walk towards the inside of the leg. So over towards our right side. The extension through the left arm is what we're really focusing on here. And lay into the left side of the body. You might even look between the legs as a way to relax the head. And see if you can lean into the lengthening through the inner thigh and calf of your right leg. Lean into that sensation with kindness, patience. It takes retraining to not stretch in yoga. There's no stretching. We're relaxing, building our awareness, and this creates the sensation of release. Let's come through the center. So keep your head low, it's relaxed, and just come on the tips of the fingers, and then slowly roll up the spine until you're in your gate pose. Let's slide our right hand down the leg and then send left arm reaching straight up first, and then start to lean, almost like a tree blowing in the wind. Just a little bit of that activating energy to lean over to the side. Now, if you notice your heart is rolled down towards the ground or your arm is in front of you, come back up straight first and only lean as much as you can where the heart is able to remain open. You might like to close your eyes even for a moment and imagine that your spine, that there is a hollow tube. It's actually physically right in front of your physical spine. And so the idea is to create a shape where there's no kinks in that passageway. We're not leaning too much. And through that channel, we'll use the affirmation, waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. When you're ready to, very gradually start to come back through the center, lower both hands. So now it's our left hand coming down towards the ground, and wherever it lands, just scooch it maybe once, twice, even 3 times, so you have enough space, enough leverage to lift the opposite leg, lift the hand into the sky. If you flex the toes of your right leg or your right foot at the end of your right leg towards the face, it will help you to sustain this pose. If you'd like to bend the knee and hold onto the ankle, see if you can get into that pose. So let it be an extension of calmness, of joy. If there's so much wobbling that you can't be at peace, come out of the pose. And you slowly extend back. Be mindful of the health of your lower spine. Foot slowly makes contact back to the earth. turn your heart down, then come sort of crawling forwards, nice and low, and walk yourself back over. So we're in our first position again. Now, if you feel strong in your right arm, you can really anchor it onto the earth, then release the left arm and set it through the legs even. Let the hips bow a little over towards your left side. Helps to open up inner thigh. We're going to slowly start making our way out of the pose, coming to neutral, hands under shoulders. Now just to be sure, let's bend the knee and slide the foot out of the way. This way we know that our spine is healthy. Go ahead and take that foot and you can reach it back as you lower the head down. Beautiful. Coming in a neutral position. If you'd like to take a child's pose at this point with knees wide, toes untucked, this is quite a bit more demanding of your hips, and you just lower down. You can always do child's pose with knees close together. And if your hips don't naturally release, you can just come onto forearms and rest on stacked fists. So now let's watch quite closely on the right side of the body. Notice all the activation, if there are new sensations, if there's a greater degree of awareness. On your exhalations, let go of anticipation, expectation. Any desire for the moment, and find yourself expanding into what is. Can you feel waves of energy surging up your spine towards the point between the two eyebrows? How does the point at the base of the skull, top of the spine feel? Breathe the prana into your body. Exhale any poisonous thought, dark feeling. Unwanted habit. Airing out the temple on this spring day of your body. We are going to gently rise out of the position and slowly come back onto the knees. This time knees nice and close together. You can tuck your toes underneath if you'd like, or you can, I like to balance on the tops of or the knuckles of the toes. You can take your hands under the top ridge of your hips and squeeze your elbows closer together, shoulders closer together. And you're looking for a nice balance. Hips aren't pushing way out so we lose integrity in the low spine, but we're also not stiff. So you find a nice point where the energy rises up the spine. And it's all happening in the heart. Like a great floodgate opened. Let's gaze straight in front of us or draw the chin towards the throat and look up. nice deep breath. Remember, the loudest person in the room is often not the most intelligent, so we don't have to push ourselves to the brink of our capacity in a pose to find the point where it really moves us on a subtle level. Let's breathe generously into the heart. Keep lifting upward in this pose so that you're not resting or descending against your lower back. And the affirmation with calm feeling, I open to thy light. Slight modification with calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. When you're ready to descend, start looking down and release the hips, arms slowly follow. We're going to bow our hips back and round the back and rub the kidneys right away. Right away, rub. Get some heat going here. Keep rubbing the kidneys, letting go of any fear response in the body. Sending rejuvenation into these vital organs. And then when you're ready, slowly come back up. This time hands into the low spine. Just let your hands rest there. We're not really pressing too hard into the camel. Just feel that exchange of energy between palms and kidneys. All right, and we'll release. Let's go ahead and tuck toes underneath. See if we can make this transition. Fingers on either side of the knee. Lift the knees off the ground. We're balanced on the feet. See if you can lift your hands and rest them onto your lap. Very important here. Draw the elbows behind you and pull the heart forwards. Just here for a few moments for those with sensitive feet. The affirmation, my body is no burden, I am light as air. My body is no burden, I am light as air. And with a gust of energy, stay with me, arms behind you. Deep inhalation, we're going to sweep all the way up to standing. So inhale, stand up as you sweep the arms. Hands up overhead. Exhale slowly, like little snowflakes trickling down. Just let the hands slowly bathe down. Get brighter through your spine. Weight is on balls of your feet. Slight bend in the knees. Hands rest by the hips. Standing Savasana. Let's stay here for just a few breaths. Lift the attention to the point between the two eyebrows. Keep the chin tucked towards the throat. Mentally chant at the spiritual eye, Om, Om, Om. It's the energetic knocking on that door to open. Om. Om, Om. And then slowly releasing the body and coming back to. Let's join feet nice and close together, and we'll start in half moon position. So reach your arms up overhead. The hand position is left hand is underneath, right palm is facing up, and you press up and over. Now again, if your right arm comes in front of the body and your heart is closing or twisted, go ahead and come back through neutral and slowly enter the pose. Just imagine there are two columns of muscle, of energy right along your spine that keeps it healthy and safe. And we are leaning into that space. Even in this pose, weight is shifting towards the balls of the feet. You lean a little bit deeper if you'd like. Hips can even sweep out ever so slightly towards the right side. Good. Feel the abdominal muscles sustaining you. The affirmation, strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Inhale, come right through center. Get as tall as you can. Come on the tips of the toes. Lengthen the spine. Lengthen the arms. Good. Exhale. We're going to take hands, palms facing down, right down the body. Calm it all down. All the static. All the restlessness. Let it calm. You can heel toe your feet a little bit wider, and we're coming all the way down. Leave your hands on your thighs if you'd like. It's a forward fold position. And we're going all the way down until the head and the neck find their total release. That's when you know you've arrived. Relax the spine. We've demanded much of our spine this far in the practice. Let it decompress like you were hanging from a tree branch or over a clothesline, relaxing. If you feel to release the hands, you're most welcome to. You can even hold onto your elbows and do a little mindful swing left and right. It's very gentle. And you're working towards straightening your legs, but bend your knees as much as you need to. The affirmation, nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. Even now, weight shifted towards the balls of the feet. When you're ready to rise, for those with a sensitive spine, step hands to the thighs, bend the knees, and drop the hips. You're going to squeeze your belly and stand up through your spine. If you'd like to roll up your spine, feel free to do so. And I'll just demonstrate standing up through the spine. Good. Let's take feet a little wider here and just gently wave the arms side to side. The hand that goes behind you, the back of the hand can gently clap against the kidney, which is the lower spine. Just be gentle. Good. Relax. Let the body get limber here. Good. We're going to take the movement a little farther. So you're looking with laser beam-like focus. Never break your gaze forward. We're going to swing the arms like you're skiing. And when you swing the arms up over, the opposite heel lifts. So it just gives you a little more range of motion. Just keep looking forwards rather than following the hands. And it's sort of like you have empty coat sleeves, like when you were a kid, and you're swinging them to either side. Everything's relaxed. And you're just pushing off one foot, and when you push off that foot, it goes right up through the spine into the arms. Good, great for the shoulders, the chest, the spine, and the legs. Whole body engagement, and then just slowly come back to a little twisting side to side. And then back to neutral position. Let's join feet nice and close together. Inhale, arms up overhead for opposite side. So this time you're taking your right hand underneath the left palm, reaching up and over. So if you get into the pose and you're wondering if there's a way that you can express more deeply, just slowly, I really mean like a millimeter at a time, release the hips over to the left, just a tiny bit, and you'll feel all those muscles of the spine have to start re-engaging. Weight is on balls of the feet, and there is a current flowing up your spine. It's enlivening the whole position into your arms. Your head is natural. You should be able to move your neck around freely here and not feel that it's hanging on for dear life. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. One more time. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Take a deep breath in before we leave the pose. Let the fire burn away any of the inner fog. And slowly come back to neutral. Important to inhale, come on the tips of the toes, even if you can. Reach as high as you can through the spine. Good, and a little different here. We're going to descend down with palms facing up, heels slowly, slowly following. Relax your shoulders. Then let the elbows slightly bend. Then let the hands start to descend. With lots of energy through the arms, and then slowly turn the palms to face the hips, and we'll stand tall here for a moment. Look to the point between the two eyebrows and come to complete rest. Make sure you're not pushing your knees back behind you, but they have a little supportive bend. And lift up through the solar plexus. Lift up through this region in the navel and let that bathe the region of the heart. Chin is gently drawn towards the throat. Back of the neck wants to be open. The window at the base of the skull is being kept open rather than pinched shut. And then looking to the spiritual eye, you'll find energy flowing much more harmoniously when this posture really locks in. All right, let's slowly open the eyes, a couple oxygenating movements, and then we are coming down. Let's join hands together, slight bend of the knees, double inhale to tense apart. Double exhale, relax. Double inhale to tense apart. It's a wave of tension building, slowly releasing. Vibrate at the peak, relax at the bottom. 2 more times. All right, soft fists into the region of the heart. You're going to inhale and tense out. Vibrate the muscles, relax in. Exhale, tense forwards. Vibrate the muscles, relax in. Double inhale, tense up. Come on the tips of the toes. Relax down, complete rest at the bottom. Okay, let's try it a little bit quicker. Inhale out. Exhale forward. Double inhale up. Double exhale down. Again. One more. All right. Just a moment here at the point between the 2 eyebrows. You can repeat, I'm positive, I'm energetic, enthusiastic. I am positive, I am energetic, I am enthusiastic. All right, my friends, let's make our way down. We'll take this transition pose of chair position. Arms come overhead. Deep inhalation. As you exhale, settle with palms coming down, facing up. Reach the arms out and then roll the shoulders down and back like you're really getting everything to plug in here. And then slowly start lifting the heels and bending the knees. Hips don't want to go too far back, but they're not too far forwards. Right in the middle under the shoulders, and the region of your belly tones. Lift heels higher to make it more challenging. Good. And just settle in and breathe here. Let the thighs work off any energy that may be resting there. Keep pressing the heart forwards to help energy flow through the heart and not get stuck behind. My body is no burden, I am light as air. My body is no burden, I am light as air. Heaviness is a condition of the mind. It has nothing to do with the weight of your body. My body is no burden, I am light as air. Let's slowly descend down. If you need to take a forward fold, feel free. If you can descend right down into the position that led us into this standing series, you might settle your hands down by either side, or you might rest them up on top of the lap and pull the heart through. My body is no burden, I am light as air. All right, I'm sure our feet are feeling this. See if you can reach through your legs to meet the earth. Walk the hands as far away as possible, and then lift your hips and walk your feet maybe just a couple steps back for downward facing dog. And you can really feel in this pose all the changes that your body has gone through in this series. When you're in down dog, make sure that you press heavy off tips of the fingers and top side of the palm. Resting on the heel of the hand denotes a sleepy consciousness. But by resting on the top, we're actively pushing out through the arms. Looking to your lap, your heels stay heavy. And just like you'd fold a blanket or a towel, you're folding your torso towards your lap. Doesn't mean you actually get it there. That's the energy. The affirmation, calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. It can be really interesting to shift your weight onto your right hand and feel your left foot. And then try the opposite. Push into the left hand and the right foot. Good, and then do all four together. Knees come down when you are ready to. We're going to sweep the feet off to the side. We're coming all the way down to the ground. Oh, how much you'll miss those burning sensations in the thighs and the tension in the legs. Let's go ahead and slowly relax down, knees coming in towards the chest. Take a little rocking side to side. And when you feel to, just rest on the back with the knees in towards the chest, holding on to knees or shins, and just breathe. Let the body decompress. And slowly the feet can come to the ground. Take the arms out nice and wide, like the shape of a T. And let the knees rock side to side. Keep the feet on the ground for this one, and use the support of your arms like big stabilizers. And all that energy at the base of your spine is being stimulated, is being awakened. And the whole length of your spine opened wide through these postures, through your awareness. And let your spine be like the rivers in springtime when the snow begins to melt and there are great floods of water, floods of energy through your spine, washing away unwanted habits, habitual ways of being or doing. We're going to come into our final resting pose to really dive into this experience in the spine. So I would recommend today that you come into Savasana and lie down on your back, as we've been quite active. So you're extending one leg at a time, palms face up in Shavasana for a deep receptivity. If you feel you need a sense of grounding or protection, just place the hands over the belly, one over the other. If you have a blanket, you might like a blanket in this position, as the body temperature will drop as you get more still. Let's start with little movements. Lift the nose up and down, up and down. Make sure you have a little wiggle room behind the neck. Think like a little arched bridge. You want a little bridge of energy back there. Once you find neutral, set the head down. Soften the eyelids so that they're not pressing heavy shut like you're going to sleep, but they're just softly resting. Relax the sinus underneath the eyes on either side of the nose, the jaw, and its root beneath the ears. Relax your throat, down into your collarbone, out towards your shoulders, and all the way down through your arms, through the little streamlets of individual fingers. And down the torso, through the rib cage. Maybe feeling the breath moving the rib cage as you slowly scan down. All the internal organs in balance and harmony with one another. Digestion, moving healthy. Down towards the hips and the sacrum, base of the spine. Let the muscles of the legs and your thighs unravel from the bone. Let the knees float in their place. Feel the downward pressure on the calves as they rest on the ground. And the ankles naturally turning out to either side. In this Shavasana, stay as perfectly wakeful as you are now. We're going to rise up the base of the spine, centering your awareness there, mentally chanting Om at each center. So at the very base of your spine, your pelvic floor, with a soft focus at the spiritual eye as well. So mentally chanting Om, Om, Om. Keep the attention at the spiritual eye. We'll move up to the second center. It's just a few finger widths above. Om, Om, Om. Let's rise up now to the region of the navel. Awareness still at the spiritual eye. Om, Om, Om. Into the heart region, center of the body. Om, Om, Om. Base of the throat, center of the throat. Om, Om, Om. Base of the skull. Om, Om, Om. We'll finish at the point between the two eyebrows and just rest here in silence after our Oms. Om, Om, Om. Let's allow a moment here in the awakened silence to feel the body and space, to let the conscious mind become aware of what deep relaxation feels and looks like. To be aware as the consciousness is expanded. Not as some special altered state, but as your natural awareness. Returning home. Let's breathe in this reality. Deep inhalations, deep exhalations. Tuning into the region of the heart as you're breathing. And then gently inviting movements of fingers and toes, energy expanding from your center and livening through will, activity. Go ahead and wake the body up consciously by reaching arms above the head, pointing toes. Arms along the earth above the head. Reach to one side or the other. And come into the balance of that pose by drawing knees into the chest, arms hug around the knees. So we get as broad as we can, and then right back to center. You can roll off to the side whenever you feel to, and we will gradually make our way back to a seated posture. When you do arrive in your seat, you can sit over ankles, you can cross your legs, whatever helps you to be comfortable so you can open your heart, keep the eyes closed. We're going to take a moment of silence so that you can be alone with the divine in your own way. The divine could be pure love, your highest potential. The divine could take form as a saint or teacher. Whatever you like, just be alone with your innermost self for a few moments. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. At this point in the practice, it is the ideal time to continue on to meditation. If you'd like to finish the class, you can join your hands together in prayer position in front of the heart. You can also meditate afterwards if you'd like. Let's sit up nice and tall and close our practice with healing prayers for others. Let's pray that all receptive souls out in this world receive the divine grace, that they turn towards that grace through acts of kindness, of love, generosity, of a willingness to combat their lower natures and rise into their own divinity. Let's pray for the upliftment of all, rubbing the palms. Just relax your body and offer it as a channel for grace. Deep inhalation for 3 ohms. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Gentle bow of the head towards the hands in prayer. We bow to the divinity that will one day find full expression through this heart. We bow to that divine nature in all beings as the same essential reality by saying Namaste, Namaste. So take your time coming back, slowly reintegrating back to your practice. Eyes can open gradually. Beautiful. All right, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day and that this energy follows you and inspires your activities. You might like to take time throughout the day just to take a deep breath, let the sun hit your face, or listen to some inspirational music. But just, if you can, keep this awake inside of yourself. Okay, blessings, everyone.